Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in today's video, we will be covering about using Jenkins CLI and using the APIs to get all the metadata of a specific page. Without getting any delay, let's get started. Again, you can find the blog post URL in the description box. Okay, so why we should use Jenkins CLI is the first question. Now the simplest answer is that sometimes we do not have a machine with a browser, or you can say, let's say we want to automate a few things. I'm using the CLI and kind of sending reports through some bots or mails that okay, these are the jobs failing from past 10 days or something like that. Now let's directly jump into the action. That's pretty much for the theory. So to use the Jenkins CLI, we have to download the jenkins-cli.jar file. Again, this file is located under this URL. Now my Jenkins URL is this one, so I'm using this. You can replace it with whatever the Jenkins URL you has, and of course this will be visible after hitting the dashboard button, or you can just hit the manage Jenkins and Jenkins CLI and it will automatically URL to download this. So let's download this one, and here's the command I have already pasted. Again, replace the URL with whatever the home URL you have, and here are a few examples which we can try with this from CLI. So let me go back to my terminal, and here I have pasted the command, and you can see it has downloaded -cli-jar for us. Now let's try the first command from the documentation, listing the jobs. So here is a sample for this, and so here basically we are asking use Java and hit this jar file, and we are using the -auth flag basically to pass the credential of our Jenkins server, because we have set up a role base, because we require authentication to list all the jobs. Now in your case, if your Jenkins server has public access to list or to see the jobs, then you do not need to require the auth. But in my case, it's not, so I'm providing it. Then -s basically it stands for providing the Jenkins server URL, and in my case, it's this one, as I'm running it on localhost. And list jobs is basically a command that so as soon as I hit this command, you see it is listing all the jobs, or you can say all the project exist on the Jenkins dashboard. So currently there is just one folder I have, and I have 2 jobs inside this. So let's try listing all the jobs inside this folder. Let me pass that I want to list this folder, and you see it is printing all the jobs. You can similarly, if you want to see user information is trying to hit the command, you can use this who am I flag, and let me try it as well. So let's the command, and as I hit enter, it is asking that okay, the user is authenticate. So if all the job access is public, then you do not require auth, and in those cases you will not see it as authenticated or like username information. Similarly, I have the next example, which is executing a job. So you can execute a job as well using the CLI only. So as you like visit the URL manage/CLI or like manage Jenkins and the CLI option, these all are the things Jenkins CLI can. It can clear the queue, it can connect agents, it can print the console output, it can copy the jobs, it can create, it can delete, it can do almost everything which you can do through the user interface. So let me try to build this job via Jenkins CLI, and let me copy this command here. Now remember, if you are using folder where you have to do this, feel free to back quotes to avoid any kind of string errors. So let's do that. As I hit enter, you see this job started on server. Let's check that. You see here I have my Jenkins, go to, and this is the job which we just triggered, and you see it is triggered today. And if you click on the build, it will say that okay, it has started 23 seconds ago. It means I just hit the command from the terminal, and you can see the job has executed. So you can use the list plugin option to list all the plugins. Again, it has tons of options, you can try them, and if you have any, to drop a comment the same. Now the next thing is testing Groovy code. So what I mean by this trick in Jenkins is that sometime when we are writing shared library or we are using some custom Groovy functions, we do require some sort of testing of our code. And of course, Groovy is not that popular language which can be available in every system or every operating system by default. So Jenkins has this direct console you can use to execute your Groovy script and debug what are the issues or with your Groovy code. So to do the same, again you have to go to manage Jenkins, and here you will see there is this tiny run the script console, and here you can write whatever the Groovy code you want to. Now you can do the same via Jenkins CLI as well. So here is a short command for that. Again, using Java, the jar file, with the jar file. Again, I'm using the option Groovy as such. As soon as I hit enter, this command gives me an interpreter for Groovy language. Whatever the code I was trying to test for my shared library or for anything, I can directly test it here without installing programming language anywhere. Now the next part, using the metadata, fetching the metadata using the Jenkins API. So this is also a very important part and can be used to write any sort of automation that required the Jenkins build without writing your custom format or anything. It has this nice response for every Jenkins page, which has all the metadata, including the job details, including build details, folder details, and everything. All you have to do is use the slash API slash JSON behind any your job URL. We will be doing that right now. So again, if you want to see where this option exists, just open your Jenkins cluster again in the bottom right. As you hit same, or you can either like add the API slash behind your Jenkins home URL. This is kind of a documentation about how you API. I will directly just jump the code section. So let's see your Jenkins dashboard. And as soon as you use slash API slash JSON, it will return entire information. You can see it has all the information which are available on dashboard, like URL. Then this is the message, system message. These are the jobs exist on this Jenkins server. Similarly, let's say if I am on this job and I want to, let's say, information about this job, what all the triggers that has happened, and I just had to hit on the URL add API slash JSON. Again, you will see every metadata of this job here in form of JSON, like what are the, so let me open it in a separate editor that will make it prettier for you to understand. Here you can see the project style URL for the same, like the full name, which means like which folder, and then the job name, then name of the specific job, then all the build information, like the build. So far we have the last 3 build stored, and these are the URLs for the same. Then similarly health report, which means how many times the job has passed, then all the param links and everything. So this is how you can use the API. So we usually consume all this data and prepare a pretty dashboard that has like all the information related to a specific job history and everything. So it's up to you how you want to use the data, because what required is that you can fetch the data in very smooth way using the Jenkins API. So these are a few tips and tricks about Jenkins. This is how you can use the CLI and use the API to get all the metadata. If you need any other video related to Jenkins, feel free to put it in the comment box. If this video helped you in any way, do share it with your colleagues and subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching.